you all doing? Welcome. Here we are for another Studio Sessions podcast with the beautiful, gorgeous birthday girl, Jill Eckersley.
That's me.
Have you had a nice birthday week?
I have. It's been great.
You're still going in the flow of it, yeah?
I think, yeah, birthday month at least, isn't it? When you're halfway through already.
Absolutely. Start as you mean to go on. Well, it's birthday day every day for you, Jill. Do you eat out often? Yes, all the time. What did I bring you today? Nice fish and chips. Oh, lovely.
Fish.
And a few chips.
I think there was 3 chips, which is actually very good because you don't want to
carb.
eat too many. It's very low carb. Yeah.
Lots of chips. They end up
On the hips.
lifetime a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
Absolutely. Too many carbs
Yeah.
of that kind are not always good.
Good, well welcome. We're going to continue our series on, the last one we did was resentment, and then we're going to follow on from that, which is really good subject matter, called jealousy, transforming green-eyed monsters into allies.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's quite deep. So let's see where we go with this. And the scripture reference is Proverbs 14:30. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. So envy, close to jealousy, it rots our bones or one's bones, or people who are jealous or envious. It rots your bones. That's not good, is it?
No, not at all.
So we want healthy bones, not rotting bones. We want to get rid of jealousy, envy. We want to get rid of the green-eyed monster in us and be aware of it in others, because you can face attack by people who are jealous towards you.
Indeed.
And I think about it. We spoke a bit about resentment last time, and now somebody had been very resentful towards me for over 20, 30 years, and they only just told me about it. And you think, Lord have mercy, all that time. And they've always got offended, in offence. And if you take offence, you're a thief. There you go, you're stealing your own destiny. But I remember I was leading an organisation. I helped repurpose an organisation that was failing. I came in and turned it around really, and blessing came and funding and change, and it was all great. And I'd been the acting chief exec because a housing manager left in conflict with the chief exec. I came in as housing manager, and then the chief exec left, untenable for her. And then I was acting chief exec, and things were going really well. Then the board, in their infinite wisdom, said, oh, we've got to advertise for a chief exec. They did. I applied for it. Somebody else got it. Now, I welcomed the other guy. I was warm, caring. I mean, I was running the organisation anyway. I didn't have really much to do. And I was pioneering anyway, by nature. But he started behaving really weird towards me and bad. And going after small things and making a big deal out of it. Like it was an HR issue, and it wasn't. And the first time I bowed to it, I got really bad pastoral advice. Oh, it's not like a black mark against your record, it's just like a beige mark.
Oh.
So go with it. So I did. Submit to authority. Well, you do, unless it's not right. And if it's wicked, if it's coming from jealousy, or if it's controlling or manipulative, then you need to stand up for it. Anyway, so the next time I got good advice and did. And anyway, these accusations that you levelled at me, silly things. It's not even worth discussing, but silly things. And there was no recourse on them. I was found I was in the right. So he was in the wrong, and he said, right, I'm going to resign. My position's untenable.
Oh, wow.
But before, when that had happened, then we were going into mediation, to go for a mediation meeting with a counsellor to smooth things over, because this guy had attacked me. He said, before we start, it's like typical counselling room, stones, candle, box of tissues. He says, before we start, I just want to say, I'm jealous of you. I said, well, you've no need to be. My position's until I said, you don't need to. Anyway, bless. He confessed that he was jealous. To me, he was a Christian. I'm sure he then repented of it. But see, and he was a nice, kind guy on the surface, but they're often the worst. Because behind the scenes or in the bedroom of the heart, they then become wicked. And do wicked things and try and destroy people and take people out. Very, very bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, it got smoothed over, and then I went on and I became a chief exec in Surrey and pioneered and got on with my life. But nice, kind Christian guy, older guy than me, like a gentle kind of guy, you know. But he got wrapped up in jealousy, and it made him do some bad things,
Yeah.
corrupt things, wrong things, and he got found out.
Oh dear.
And that's what happens with anybody. People reap what they sow. So just be encouraged in that. People always reap what they sow, don't they, Jill?
Absolutely.
And let's be sure that we don't. And jealousy is when you want something, but somebody else has got it. So you've got to be very careful, and I'm careful. If people are doing things and achieving more than me, or going where I'd want to go, I bless them. I really do. And it's always good to walk blessing people and walk in forgiveness and love.
Absolutely.
You know, if people are doing something bigger and better than you and they suddenly sideline you, well, forgive them and bless them and pray for them.
Absolutely.
And let's get rid of green-eyed monsters.
Definitely.
The only people who can do that is in our lives. But if any green-eyed monsters come at you, you've got to stand strong and challenge them.
Absolutely.
With faith, with prayer, in love, but then dig your heels in. And you've got to fight some things. You just have.
Absolutely.
That's the nature of life. I mean, William Booth, when he did his last speech, he said, I will fight while there's still prostitutes. I'll fight while there's still alcoholics. I'll fight. And it's the fight of faith. And the biggest opposition you can have comes in the form of jealousy.
Indeed.
And envy. It just does. And I've never been like that. I've always just gone out and got stuff myself if I wanted something. I did from being a kid. Some things I got the wrong way. But as I become a Christian, I've got things the right way. And I've never been jealous of anybody, have I, Jill?
No, not that I know of. And I think it's interesting, isn't it, jealousy in that respect? So we can be inspired by people and then you think, well, that's great, what they're doing. I'd love to do that. And that's really good, isn't it, to then be spurred on. I suppose that's, you know, you think, oh, I love what they're doing. I could do that in my way. But I think, sadly, when it gets to jealousy, it's actually that people want what you've got.
Yes.
And sadly, we've come across this, is that actually then people think that they can take what you've got. Well, you think, well, you don't have to take anything, do you, from someone else? Go and get it yourself.
Yes.
But I think the sad thing is that what you have isn't meant for that other person. That everybody's got their own path to follow.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very different for someone else. And actually, who's to say what God's got or what's for them could be so much better for them than what you've got?
Yeah, so it's a warning, really. Beware of the green-eyed monsters in us. Kill it, put it to death, and walk in your own lane. Get in your own lane.
I know, and I always thought about that.
Stay in your own lane, because there's blessing for us all. And there's a path and predestination for us all, and blessing and purpose. So beware of the green-eyed monster. Proverbs 14:30, a heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. And it's interesting, the tall poppy syndrome, because people are often like, they'll always criticise people who are doing well. And they say, people will never criticise anybody who's doing less than themselves. They'll always criticise people more who's got a better car, a better home, a happy marriage, or this, that and the other. They've always got snide comments or different things to say about people. No, we should honour those and bless those things and be happy. And somebody said recently, it's a really good quote, unless you're happy with what somebody's got, you'll never have it.
No, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
You know.
And And I think sometimes, do you really want what that other person's got? You know, you might think, well, I'd like a bigger house, or I'd like this. Could you actually then look after that bigger house? Would you have the finances to pay the heating bills and the council tax? And you know, the practicalities. Or you think of someone who runs an estate would need staff. Do you have the capacity to employ the right staff and do that? So it's like, don't rush ahead from where you're at. I remember somebody, a minister friend of ours, had said, if everything you had, you know, doubled, could you cope with that doubling? And actually, if you think about it, doubling is a lot. Obviously, it depends on what you've got to begin with. But yeah, you know, think about it. That's why sometimes it's the steps of the righteous man, isn't it, that are ordered of the Lord.
Not the leaps,
and that he delights in that. Absolutely, because actually, if we knew the end from the beginning, we might run from that and not actually want to go down that road at all. So, indeed.
We're speaking about beware of the green-eyed monsters. Humorous quote, jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. It's when you love to hate the person who just got that promotion. So it's like people get infatuated with hate and jealousy, and it does really rot the bones. And I've had to challenge somebody recently. I said, I don't want you to talk about this person again. Yeah. Forgive them, bless them, and move on.
Yeah. Amen.
Let's say it again. Forgive them.
Forgive them.
Bless them.
Bless them.
And move on.
And move on.
Why did the jealous computer break up with its partner? It couldn't handle the bites of attention. As in B-Y-T-E-S. Anyway. Questions for reflection. In what areas of my life do I feel jealousy? And I really don't think I am. I get inspired by people. And the great thing is about people who's inspired me, I've met most of them. Mm-hmm. And I've become friends with them. And I'm prepared to learn from them. And but it inspires me to live my path and do what I'm called to do. Mm-hmm. And do where I'm going. But if anybody's got jealousy in them, just filter it. Get forgiveness for it. And forgive, bless. And then you'll be free to run your own race and build your own life in your own path.
Amen.
That's hopefully helping people. How can I turn feelings of jealousy into motivation? There you go. Just be inspired what people are doing. And if people are doing well, success leaves clues. What steps have they taken? You know, have they got qualified? Have they got experience? Have they served the way to where they are? Must be. Have they got a natural gifting? Have they trained? Have they developed? Are they obsessed with what they're doing? Most high achievers are. But stuff like, you know, people get jealous of people who are happily married. And family members do. And all different kinds of stuff. So it's good just to be happy. Rejoice with those who rejoice. And mourn with those who mourn. That's a good key. That's the Jesus style.
Yes.
Suggestions. List the qualities you admire in others and how you can cultivate those in yourself. Just said that. And you can listen podcasts by people nowadays. You can read books. There's all kinds of ways now where you can be mentored and coached onwards and upwards in life. Share your feelings of jealousy with someone you trust to gain perspective. I've never heard anybody share that they're jealous about anybody at all, apart from that one guy who came after me.
That's funny, isn't it?
Never heard anybody else confess to being jealous. But you'll hear little leaks come out about people. So not many people admit to jealousy. And it's often expressed in a critical spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
The critical, the hypercritical. And, you know, all of us want peace and joy and good relationships, good family, provision, you know, finance to live a good life. But if you're jealous of people who have got that, it'll stop you building a successful life, loving life yourself.
I think as well, jealousy can also come when you have a natural talent for something that someone else wishes they had,
and it's just
a natural talent
or
for,
anointing.
but they don't.
Because you had it, didn't you, with singing?
I did.
Share that story.
Yeah, I did. This is a long time ago now. So I was sort of only maybe teenage, maybe early 20s, a long time ago. And we were at a church where I was asked to sing, and I was very nervous, to be quite honest. Didn't have that natural confidence, like Terry's always had a natural confidence. I was shaking picking up that microphone, but the pastor wanted me to sing a solo nearly every week. And it's interesting, isn't it, that I didn't really want to do that. I did want to sing, but I was struggling with the performance side of it, so I had to grow in that. Anyway, there was somebody there, unfortunately, who was a lot older than me, and I didn't know any of this at all, but I definitely felt the effects of it because I wasn't treated very nicely by some of the people there for a short time, thankfully. And actually, a friend of my mum's confronted this lady who actually I did become friends with, and she said, "You're jealous of Jill because of her singing talent." And at first she wouldn't admit it, and then she said, yes, I am jealous of Jill. But she had, again, like Terry said, there's nothing to be jealous of because the talent was from God. It was something that came easily to me, but equally, as a young person, you're hoping that people who are a bit older are going to be supportive and encouraging.
But it's interesting that it was an older lady with you and it was an older guy with me.
Yeah.
And Christians. And it's interesting as well, you've got to name it to tame it. So thank God that he named it and then tamed it, and thank God that she named it and tamed it. So you've got to name things to tame them, and that's why confession is good for the soul. And it's a way of breaking through.
And I think sometimes people, until it is vocalised, and maybe we all need to do this sometimes, is to name it, bring it into the light. Because if not, we don't admit it. It's almost like a secret sin, isn't it? But then it just repeats. It's like whenever they're going to see that person, they're going to, well, I want to do what they're doing. And actually, this person started to sing solos, but they were great in a group, but they weren't great solo. And I think this is the thing, that they'd obviously harboured this secret desire to do that when it wasn't their natural talent. But sometimes it's only when someone comes along who does that it reveals it. And I think that's what happened in that situation.
Yes, great. Right. Set specific personal goals inspired by those you admire. So that's good. People who I admire, not I'm jealous of, I admire them. Set some personal goals to follow in their footsteps. Celebrate others' successes to foster a positive mindset. And I said that earlier on, a good way to avoid jealousy is when people get promoted, even when I wanted to get promoted, early days in my career, and people got promoted before me, I'd celebrate them on purpose.
Yeah.
Or even though I felt disappointed, I wasn't jealous about them, I was probably a bit jealous that I'd not been promoted. So how did I break it? I celebrated them. I'd get them a gift, get them a card, really encourage them. Probably go over the top, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that breaks it. Celebrate others' successes to foster a positive mindset. That's how we destroy the green-eyed monster. Trust you've been blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, your weekend. Live a blessed, purposeful life, and we look forward to seeing you real soon on studio sessions. Ciao for now. Any thoughts or comments, leave them below. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and please give us a like and share. We really appreciate you tuning in and your company. We'll see you soon. Bye.